Hey guys, in today's video I will be showing you how to start the PMDG 737-600. It's not that difficult and I decided to make the video short and to the point so you can get started on your adventures. For the most part of this video we will be mostly focused on the overhead panel lower and the FMC. This video will not go into programming of the FMC. I will release another video on that. Let's get started. We're going to start our battery and then switch our standby power on. We'll now go to the FMC and we'll say FS Actions, Ground Services, GPU card request. We want to request ground power. We also want to make sure that our wheel chokes are set. Once the ground power has been connected, okay, here we can see that it's verified that it's connected. We're going to go back to overhead lower and we're going to connect our ground power. Now we're going to turn on the window heat and our fuel pumps, left fuel pump and right fuel pump. If we had fuel in the center tank, we could turn on the center tank pumps. We're going to leave them off for now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on our APU. While the APU is starting up, we're going to go to the upper panel, overhead upper, and switch our IRS to nav on both of them. We're going to return to the overhead lower. We're basically waiting for the APU to start up. There it started up. You can see here this gauge on the left next to the fuel pumps. It's now revving up. We're basically going to wait now until we can see a light on the APU generator showing us that there's APU power available. At this point we will go down to the FMC and we'll return. Just return, go to menu. Alternatively you could just click menu on at the bottom here and go to FMC. We're going to go to pause init and we're going to select our GPS coordinates and enter it in as the IRS position and enter. This is the point where you would configure your FMC. We're not going to go to that in this video. So let's continue with the startup procedure. We go back to the overhead lower. The APU should be on and our power is available. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch on the APU generator left and right. There we go. I just made sure that it was off first before I switched it on. So now you can see these lights all disappeared and you can hear that the aircraft is now running off the APU generator. We're just going to clear off some of the last few things. We're going to switch on the yaw damper. We're going to switch on the probe heat. We're going to switch our APU bleed on. We're going to switch on our anti-collision lights. We can put on our logos if we want. So at this point you could call for pushback and you would get pushback, and as soon as the pushback is complete or while you're in pushback you can go for main engine start. So we want to switch on all the hydraulic pumps and we're going to go to the right engine and switch it to ground. You can see here the engine is now starting up. When it gets to about 20 we want to switch on the fuel for that engine. So 20, there we go. Let's introduce the fuel. So now that we've introduced the fuel you can see that the engine will start to now spool up. The switch will move from ground to off. Once that's complete we can start the left engine. It normally takes about a minute or so for it to start. So at the moment we still on the ramp, so we haven't actually disconnected our ground power yet, so the APU trolley is still outside. You would have to go to the FMC and release the chokes and the trolley before you taxi, obviously. But for this video we haven't done that because we've been stationary. So you can see there the engine has started successfully, so we can start the left engine, set it to ground. We can see that the engine is starting to rev up slowly. Again, when it gets to about 20% or 20, we're going to introduce the fuel. So there it's 20, let's introduce the fuel. The fuel has now been introduced and now the engine will start up. Let's go to the FMC so I can show you where you would release the chokes. So click on menu, go to FS Actions, select ground services, release the cart, so it's disconnecting, and remove the wheel chokes. By removing the wheel chokes, you'll automatically remove the stairs as well. So we can go outside quickly and we'll see that the chokes are being removed, or the chokes have been removed, and the stairs are busy moving away. So you would do that before pushback, and you'd start your engines during pushback. So the only thing left for us to do is to switch our APU off. But before we do that, we're going to move on to generator 1, generator 2. Now the APU, we're no longer using the APU to power the aircraft. The engines of the aircraft are powering the aircraft. So now we can successfully switch our APU off. Once the APU is off, we'll be able to proceed. We are going to switch the APU bleed to off now, and we're going to bring our left and right packs to auto. At this point we'll arm our emergency lights and lock it into place. We'll activate the fasten seatbelt sign. Well guys, that was a short little video on how to start the PMDG 737-600. I hope you enjoyed the content and please consider subscribing. I'm looking forward to going on this journey with you guys.